Well, SEC Media Days kicked off yesterday in Hoover. Today, day two, 4 teams making the rounds around the media circus in the Winfrey Hotel. We will start with the Georgia Bulldogs. The Bulldogs ask anybody in the country who prognosticates college football. They all like Georgia as one of the top teams in the nation. Led by quarterback Jake Fromm, the Bulldogs have a big target on their back coming into this season. Fromm and Kirby Smart talked about that today.
We look at those games where we didn't quite get over the hump in the past, and we want to do more this summer. And I think it starts with what we do in the off season, in the summer, how we prepare, how we condition, how we attack camp, when it comes, and really taking every single game like it's our last, and trying to go 1-0 every single week.
When you're green, you grow, and when you're right, you ride. And we're always trying to stay green. So we take our coaching staff places. Our guys went and visited several NFL places. Myself went and visited with Dan Quinn over at Atlanta Falcons, and got a lot of respect for him and shared some ideas. He's done a tremendous job with that organization. Visited with some general managers in the NFL, and just think that when you grow and you go get new ideas, it brings a freshness to your program.
Well, former Oxford High School star Clay Webb signed with the Bulldogs back in December. The All-American offensive lineman immediately enrolled at UGA, went through spring practice with the team, and even though he's only been on campus in Athens a few short months, he's already making a great impression on all of his new teammates.
Clay, I think wrestling makes him a very good offensive lineman. Like the way he uses his body to block people is ridiculous. Once he, learns how to use his hands and understanding how to make calls at center, because it is difficult playing offensive line as a freshman, but let alone being a center is very difficult. But once he, understands the plays and everything, I think he's going to be really good.
The Ole Miss Rebels can finally play in a bowl after sitting out last year, serving some time for NCAA sanctions. Coach Matt Luke and the Rebels are led by a true freshman quarterback in Matt Corral, and really unlike any other team, a true freshman representing the Rebels today. They really like their chances and the momentum over in Oxford.
I feel like you can't worry about so much about your competition, just worry about yourself and, stay on the straight line and do what you're supposed to do, and, be the last to leave, watch film when you're supposed to, and, just be ready for what's to come.
Playing with an edge and playing with that emotion and that chip on your shoulder will be very important for a young football team. And I'm excited about the opportunity. There's going to be a lot of new faces, but a lot of talented new faces. I think we've recruited well, and I'm excited to see that depth really show up. Being back at 85 scholarships, although they're going to be young, I think it'll be fun to watch that competition and those young guys competing.
We saw this guy earlier this year, back in January, at our Pigskin Roundup All-Star Team banquet. It is Jeromy Pruitt, head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. Second year in Knoxville under Pruitt, looking to return to a bowl game for the first time in 2 seasons. Last year, 5-7 and 2-6 in the SEC. But Pruitt says so far in the offseason, he really likes what he's seen with his guys and wants to build in year 2, both as a personal coach as well as the team overall.
I have learned a lot this offseason, and it was pretty easy fix to fix our relationship with our players and build a relationship, and it takes time, right? Over time, you learn to trust people, and you get to know them and know who they are, and with that, it's been very positive this offseason. Our players are comfortable around our coaching staff, and you can see guys that maybe at one time I wondered whether or not they'd be able to help us win what we want to accomplish at Tennessee, to where I see guys that are kind of growing and developing and are really have an opportunity to turn themselves into some fine football players. So I'm excited about this football team.
Texas A&M is one of the teams in the SEC West that a lot of people think can compete for that league championship and play in Atlanta for the SEC championship. Head coach Jimbo Fisher says he really likes the team that the Aggies are putting together going into this season. However, everybody in the SEC West looking up to the University of Alabama, and that includes the Aggies.
You got to play 60 minutes and play well and play well in the game. I mean, it's not going to be any brain surgery. Believing you can win and go in and play in the game. I mean, they have a tremendous program, but they're a football team too that can have ups and downs. You have to go play a very good football game. That's what it's going to take, because they have good players, they're well coached, and they expect to win. They've built a culture of winning. So and I'm not trying to be smart. I mean, that's literally what it's going to take. You got to go play a very good football game, expect to win, and make the plays when you have the opportunities.